I think that this project came in to allow me to be more in the mindset of recovery. And recovery is not just not drinking. Recovery is basically working with your history to recover. If you think of it like an injury, you're basically recovering from an injury. Emotional, spiritual, professional, you're bettering yourself.
I feel like our collaboration is really honest and true because every day that goes by, we're like peeling the layer off our own recovery.
So I got a text from Elizabeth and it said, "Hey, you are invited to Carlos's birthday celebration next Sunday at Evergreen Ice Skating Rink. We have a reservation." My stomach is growling. And I've done this before with my stomach growls and these mics pick up growling. If you want to come, we can scoop you. Hope you can make it.
We head up to the mountains and it's a beautiful day and it's sunny and it's looking to be like this super gorgeous day to ice skate on a lake. And we get there and like there's all these people standing around in the parking lot and we're like, that's weird. And then we see the reason why.
What happened? Here, I'll get out. 1 second.
So when we got here, we saw these signs that said that the ice skating was closed. Carlos went to investigate and he did see an email, but it was like buried in his massive long list of emails. And they're over there.
I no longer get surprised when things go wrong when we're filming. The ice rink being closed, I was like, of course. But we could figure out a way to go hiking, maybe to a restaurant. And we showed up and yeah, it actually worked out. You're great, you're stars, kids, you're beautiful. It's a birthday party, you're on an ice rink. Happy birthday. Yeah, if you just want to Venmo me $14 once it's done, then I can give it to you, thanks. I'm a businessman.
I've just started to see the footage that we are putting together, or he is putting together, and it's predictably my very first reaction to everything I'm seeing is, I look fat. Now my recovery at least tells me that that's what we call an automatic negative thought. So I'm able to kind of step back and address it and run through some different tools and say, well, is that really true? I know that when I was in recovery, it was really hard for me to look at how long I had been eating disordered. And the truth is it had gone back to about that age. It had gone
13.
Back to, the first time I remember restricting intentionally my intake of food was when I was in 7th grade. Whatever age that is, I'm not even really sure. But I remember being in 7th grade, and I remember I remember seeing like a made-for-TV movie about anorexia, and I remember seeing the actresses. So it was made by an actress who actually had struggled with it, and she was probably making it from an intention of being helpful, but it was very hurtful to me because I saw her body. And I was like, that's the body I need to have. Mm-hmm. And how I do that is I stop eating. And so whenever I wasn't being actively monitored or watched by my parents, I just didn't eat. So that meant like when I was at school, I didn't eat my lunch. I didn't pack my lunch because I was responsible for packing my own lunch. And that's when I created a tape in my head that still plays to this day that says, and let's move away from these children just in case they could possibly hear.
Right.
That's right. When I created a tape that plays in my head to this day, that says, "You are fat," and it just kind of grew into this monster that spiraled, and I lost control of it very quickly. When I was going back to thinking about the origins of where it all started, right? How did I get this way? That's like the big question for everybody. How did I get this way? How did I first become so fucked up? And I remembered that made-for-TV movie about anorexia and and that, obviously had a huge impact on me. But then all of a sudden, like I remember it was later that day, I remembered, no, that's not where it started. It started before that. I must have been 9. I was finding my footing, trying to find out who were going to be my friends, who were going to not be my friends, who were the mean girls, who were the popular girls, And this girl, as we were all walking home from school, just kind of quips randomly. My mom says, if your thighs touch each other when you walk, you're fat. And that was literally the first time I ever thought about it. The first time I ever thought that my body was not good enough. Up until that moment, I thought I was beautiful. I thought I was the bee's knees. I thought I could do anything. I thought I was gonna grow up and be a movie star or a model. But that girl shut me down because my body already did not meet some expectation. My body already was wrong at age 9 because some girl who I barely knew and her mom who I'd never met said that if your thighs touched each other when you walked, then you were fat. And from then on, I became obsessed with my thighs. And I would do little exercises in my bed at night. I would kick my legs to try to get my legs thinner. And this is my chance to sit here and literally preach about it and say, how f***ing dare you, lady, say that to your child? How dare you? How dare you say that to your child? It spreads like a disease, and it is deadly.
That broke my heart so much because she's such a young kid at that point, and she just didn't know what a poisonous idea that was. That little girl, her mother told her that poisonous idea, and it's like a virus that went to her, and then she passed it to Elizabeth.
My mind tells me every day that if my arms are not a certain size, I do not deserve or I do not get to take up space in this world, and I do not get to be on camera. And by sitting here in this chair right now, it is a physical act of rebellion, and it is terrifying. It is literally terrifying to me right now to be sitting in this lovely independent studio that's provided for me to be in. It is terrifying to me to be here with all these messages that say I don't get to be here because I am not at this particular size. I know that my self-worth is not housed within my physical form. My self-worth is housed within the love that I give and receive from friends. It is not in how big my arms are. We've got to stop telling girls that their worth is in their outward appearance. We got to start telling them that they can be thinkers, that they can be makers, that they can be world changers.
Turn the page.
Art has become an integral part of my recovery. It's not a part of my illness, and I don't want it to be. And I don't think that my art is better in illness. I think it's better in recovery. And the art that I create in recovery is colorful, it's bold, it's huge. My art that I create in recovery, it's about taking up space, it's about being present. And I want that to be my story. I don't even know if I told you this part. My art was just bought by PayPal.
Right.
It's like hanging in their office right now.
Oh, cool.
Like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
no,
awesome.
that was a
Congratulations.
really cool, yeah, right? So I've had art bought by Google. I've had art bought by PayPal. I've had art bought by like E-Trade. So I'm like, that's legit. Like,
That's so awesome. Like, I mean, you know, even just like when I got that small commercial job, it's like, I never thought I would be here. For the longest time, I was just spending all my money on alcohol, working whatever job I could get. And when it starts to change, it's like slow, but it's like such an accomplishment. I want to take a photo of you talking about this exciting time. All right. 3, 2, 1, selling art. Let's go hang out with our friends.
Yeah.
No, this is all great.
You know, in as much as like I am sulking about my body image, which is understandably bullshit, which I realize and I get all mad because I'm like, F the patriarchy for making me feel this way.
Right.
I mean, that's how
Don't fall through. Don't. That's what the patriarchy wants.
Whee!